Hello guys, this is our first video. It will be a repetition of the things we took in our first lecture, and even we will apply or make the same exercise we took last lecture. So it will be something like additional thing for you guys to watch it and to practice AutoCAD at home. And even though it will be just a series for the beginner in AutoCAD, especially architectural student, of course. In our first lecture, we talked how the first thing you will see when you open AutoCAD is I'm using AutoCAD 2023. So you will see two things, the open and the new, and of course you will see your recent file. The open will enable you actually to open your recent file, so you will be able to access your recent file either from open or directly you will find them in here, or you will just start a new project simply by clicking the new. We talked about just focusing on the important things. So I just told you we will be taking or just given in somehow with this limited time we have just the important, or let's say like 30 or 40% from this program. Anyway, as you see directly, AutoCAD opened a new file for me. He will directly name it for you. And even though you will be able to open a new project or open a new drawing from this plus button. We talked about these tabs and panels. I told you that it's not important for me to exactly know, like memorize that I do have a draw tab or a draw panel and then the command in it, or like to know that modify panel has some commands and you to memorize each command by itself. No, it's important for me directly to know how to access a command. Something we mentioned in the class, you do have this line of comments, let's say, and you do have this little arrow in here. The thing is, or the thing I showed you in the class was even how you could hide the menu bar. And if we hide the menu bar, you see that a line of command disappear, and this was the menu bar. You will be able to show it from this button, even though we talked about show below the ribbon if you want to move this line into this area. So show below the ribbon, it will move in here. So it's up to you where you will see it, or you will prefer actually to put it. Anyway, we talked about even two things or two shortcuts at the beginning. I told you how you will be able to hide this background by clicking the F7 in here, F7, and I told you about the F8. Now we will see it in a minute. We talked about line command, and we said that L is the shortcut, and you will be able to make a line by clicking the first time, move your cursor, and then just click the second time. Directly AutoCAD will make a chain for you. He will enable you to complete your drawing, or by clicking skip, you will be able to undo, or let's say to cancel your command. This was the first thing. And as you see, when I click L and then space, I click the first point and I was able to move my my hand 30 or 100, let's say 80, and any angle I want. Where if I just click the F8, which is the second directly shortcut we talked about, I will be able to either move horizontal or vertical, which we call it ortho in AutoCAD. It's important for me to directly know that F8 is will enable me directly to move horizontal or vertical, or to move in any angle I want. Anyway, we talked about rectangle also, and we say that REC is the shortcut of it. REC, and then click space, and then just find a little place, click the first point, move your hand without clicking, without doing anything, just move your mouse, and then click the second point, which will draw a rectangle or a square in this case in somehow. Anyway, we mentioned something also important in rectangle, which is REC. and then click space. We said if I do have a rectangle with a specific dimension, so I will click the first point, move my hand, and then I will see something here appeared. And this is an important line, which is the command line. While you are drawing, this will help you. Actually, while you are drawing something, he will tell you all the options you have when you are drawing. In this case, we learned how to make a dimension, which I will repeat it again. REC, space, click the first point, move, and click now D for dimension, and click space. Now you will click or you will enter the length and the width of the rectangle you do have. Let's say I do have 20, space, 50, space. And now I have to click only one time with the left button of the mouse. Now I do have my rectangle. Again, REC, space, click one time, D, space, 10, space, 10, space, and then click once. So I do have my, this is a square, it became a square. We mentioned something about line and polyline. Okay, as you see, I'm not even caring about the command in this draw panel. I directly start with the shortcut, and this is the thing I want you guys to do. Please do not go line and then click in here. Please use shortcuts. Okay, so we talked about line, and we said that we do have something called polyline. At the beginning, let me use L, which is line command. Click space, click once, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, and then close it. And then click escape. If I just select this line, I can see it's just a one piece, and it's separated. They are not connected. It's not unconnected shape. Where in polyline, PL, which is the shortcut of it, click space, I will draw approximately the same shape, like this, and then close it, click escape, and then try to select something. As you see, it's a connected shape, and this is the difference actually between them. Later on, we will talk about like how you could directly just hover over. When I'm saying hover over something, just get close to it and do nothing. So you will see some options. Maybe later on you will talk, or you will discover it by yourself, because it's not that much important actually to explain everything now. Anyway, this is the main difference actually between the line and polyline. And even though with polyline we do have some options which is important for us later on, we may know it. So BL, click once. I do have something here called width. Maybe later on or next lecture, or when we start to make our plans, we will talk about it. Something else we talked about, how to zoom in and out, of course. Scroll out and scroll in. And as you see, if I do have, for example, if I do have a shape in here, like this, if I just move my cursor into this place and I scroll in, I can see that the AutoCAD will directly zoom in into the place. Scroll in, scroll out, move my cursor, scroll in, scroll out, move it into this place, scroll in, scroll out. We talked about the selection. I said we do have from this corner or left to right, and we do have from right to left, green and blue. As you see, this is a complete line, okay? This is a polyline. When I go with the left one, I can see it's not selecting anything, because I have to cover everything to be able to select something. Where in green, I have just to touch a point, I will be able to select everything. We say that if you lost, like you lost or just lost your drawing, just click the scroll button double time. You will directly find it. So, we draw something like this even with as a rectangle, and we talked about offset command, which is O space. He will ask me the distance. Now I will say like 20 space, click my rectangle, move in or out. As you see, I didn't click. When I move my cursor in, he will draw it inside the shape. Out, he will draw it outside the shape. And we said, or we talked about even, let me just use now rectangle, small rectangle. We said, or we talked about copy. So select CO for copy, click space. Now select any point, click in, for example, here, and then move right or left. As you see, I want to move only horizontal or vertical. Let's say I will click F8 now. So I will move horizontal, and I will click, for example, 20, click space. As you see, draw a copy of it. So the difference between them, as you see, it's, I cannot actually, let's say, where in technically, let's say, these lines are just a copy of these with a specific distance, you know? They are similar to each other, but you can see the benefit of them, because if you just use a line, for example, like this, and then click offset, which is O, and then space, let's say 20, space, click in here, and then go up, say yes, and then draw the same line, and then click CO, click yes, or before, let's say, let's select our shape, CO, and then click space, and then click any point, go up, and then say 20. We got the same result actually, but there is a difference between copy and offset, and now you know in somehow the difference between them or the benefit of them. So you do have the exercise, you do have the shape, you do have your tools, and you will use the tool you find or you think is beneficial for you. So this was about offset and copy. We talked about trim and extend, and I said, for example, let's say if we do have a little space in here, let's say this is a window and these are just helping line. So if we want to cut this space, I will click TR, and I said please click double time space and then just cut. If you want to extend, EX double time and then extend these lines. Okay, so this is the benefit actually of TR. TR double space, click these two, again these two, or these two, or let's say extend, EX double time, select these two, he will connect it for me. We talked about how I could, this is a polyline, like this, how I could directly, if I do have a connected lines, I could directly use the X, which is explode, to unconnect them. Now if I select something, it's just a separate lines. If I select all of them and click J for join, click space, now it became again one shape. So these are the commands we talked about, and we talked about, or we give an exercise, a little exercise. It was this one. Okay, let's say I will make it now 500 by 500. Okay, so we draw, or we start with the rectangle, REC, click space, click one point, and then just move your cursor and then click D for dimension, click space, and now click 500 space 500 space. Click once, now you do have your shape. We do have the thickness of the wall, which is 25, so the offset gonna be 25. O space 25 space, click your shape, move it inside, click once, now you do have your walls. We do have since we talked about this window in the class, let's talk about this one now. Okay, so this is 200. Let's say each one will be 100. Okay, so let me see the dimension. It's exactly, each one is 3 approximately, or 2.5. Let me just make sure, or let's draw a rectangle of 15 by 200. This is the outer one. So let me just change the color for now. So REC, click space, click once, and then move your cursor, and then click D, click space. It's 15 space 200 space. Click once. Now I do have the outer shapes. As you see, this one is in the middle of it. So I will click L, click space. When I just come or touch the middle point, there is a little rectangle, or sorry, a triangle will appear. So this is the midpoint, and even Autocad will tell me this is a midpoint. So I will click once, move it, click once here, click escape. I do have now my helping line. Let's say this is, if it's a 5, so let's say it's a 6, okay, 6 centimeter in somehow. I will say it's 6. So I will go to offset, click once, click 3, click once, click this line, go one time up, and click it again, go one time down, click skip, click your line, and delete it. Now you do have this little one. Again in here we do have it's a 5, so I will just select this shape now, click X for explode, click OK or space, offset, yes or space, 5 space, click this line, bring it inside, click this line, bring it inside, and now we do have a little window which just need this glass. I will click offset, space, 3 centimeter for the glass, or 2.5 if you want. Yes, click once, click again, and that's it. Now zoom in, TR, double space, delete this, and delete these 2 lines. Now we do have our window. So now I will just come to this place. It's 110. So what I will do is I can either just draw a line L like this, bring it from this point, skip, select it. Since we said, or we talked about move command, I will use the move command. I will click M for move, click space, click any point you want. From here, move up 110, space, this is the point I want, and I will just bring this window, M for move, click space again, zoom to this corner, click, move, put it in here, and now click another line, yes, draw a line like this, and now I could directly just TR for trim, double space, click this one, click this one, click this one. As you see, there is a little even space in here. It's not exactly at the corner of the wall. So I will just move my window like this. Now I use the blue line, which is the blue selection, because if I did use my green, I will select everything. If I select like this, I will select everything. That's why I used the blue. I zoomed in, click this, and now bring it into this space, click once again, click M, space, put any point, move left 3 centimeter or 5 centimeter and say yes. Now you can directly delete TR double space, delete this line. Let me see, I did something wrong, which is Ctrl Z, because maybe they are not connected. It should be connected. Let me see. They are double space like this. You can, of course, draw the second windows. And this is it. If you want an additional step or additional, let's say step, click H, click space, click these walls. Or before, just click now because it's yellow. Click skip, click once again, select your hatch, bring it into gray color. And this is it.